Hi guys, hi everybody. Howard here with the outro solo from Good Times, Bad Times by Jimmy Page with Zeppelin, of course. And ever since I did the rhythm guitar part and also his main solo in the middle, I've gotten so many people asking me to do the outro solo. So I'm finally getting around to it, okay? So if you just want to jump ahead to the lesson itself, that's where it starts, okay? But this one requires a little explaining, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So first of all, it's not really so much a solo. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's really just a collection of licks, like 5 or 6 licks that he plays. And he probably dropped them in for all I know, just punched in and did one and did another one until he got a collection that he liked, or maybe he just winged it and we've got what he did. You know what I mean? And I would have to say that of all Jimmy's solos, this is the one that probably receives the widest array of interpretations, okay? And there's good reason for that. One of it is just the sound. It sounds like he's playing through a Leslie speaker cabinet, which I believe he probably did on the main solo as well. But it's really cranked here. I mean, it's a pretty intense effect, very, very fast. And it contributes a great deal to what we're hearing with our naked ears. It creates some what you might call wobble and flanging and all sorts of things going on. So it's kind of hard, I get it, for a lot of players to decipher exactly what he's doing. And I'm no different, so I'm just going to show you how I perceive it. And also what I wanted to mention is I don't have a Leslie speaker cabinet. So what I've done is I'm using a stereo chorus with a healthy dose of reverb and to kind of emulate that. But it'll really give you a chance to hear how much that sort of warbling, flanging effect has on what he plays, okay? So here's the first lick out the gate after the break. Now, you can certainly use the standard pentatonic box to play this lick. But I'm choosing this fingering for it, which is not uncommon for Jimmy Page to use himself. He used it on Heartbreaker, for instance, for the infamous lick. It comes in handy for certain things, and I think it's real handy for this one. And so anyway, here's the tab up on the screen, and this is how it's played, and I'll talk about the picking a little bit as well. So what we have here is a 6-note pattern with each pattern starting with a pull-off. So you want to start with a downstroke, and that pull-off would take place of an upstroke. So when we move to the next string, we want to start with a downstroke and do full-on alternate picking. Then start from this string, moving to 9 on the G string. Stay with 12 and 9. And then finally, and then when you get to 10, it just sounds like it just wobbles the note, tenaciously, if that's the right word for it, and then slowly brings it back to the pitch of E. You'll even see some guys like picking it to kind of imitate that, but I think most of it is coming from the Leslie speaker enclosure. And so that is the first lick. Now the next lick is very similar to a couple of things that he did in the main solo in the middle of the song. So we're on the 15th fret on the E string, and it all takes place right there. So what you do is you bend the E string at the 15th fret, and while it's bent, strike it again, then release, bend, etc. Again. And you've got that bend and release at the very end, okay? And just play it with a lot of attitude. That's the next lick in line, and again, you can hear how the chorusing kind of helps out with that a little bit. it's very it's very strained on the recording. So you're just kind of digging in, sweeping across the strings, and then I could probably use even a bit more chorus to make it sound even more strained. And then we're into the next fill, of course. Again, a lot of this stuff is up for interpretation, but basically what I'm doing is I'm bending at the 15th fret on the B string, grabbing the 15th fret on the E string below it, and bringing the notes together. And again, that Leslie effect really plays a role here. And for the next one, we're basically doing the same thing. We're at the 10th fret this time, and you can use different fingers if you want to. It doesn't really matter. But what I do for this one is I bend it at the 10th fret, grab the 10th fret on the E string below it, and just make it sound as grubby as you can. Just basically like that, okay? So for that lick, it's basically a blues lick, right? And you can see where he kind of shakes the string at the end like he did before. I'll just play this one nice and slow for you and talk a little bit about that little section where he kind of glissandos the string a little bit. So like I said, there's a little bit of a glissando in there. If you slow this down, like really slow it down with some software, you can hear that glissando in there and where he kind of backtracks a little bit. So from when he starts the triplet pattern, so it's still a triplet pattern, but he kind of makes his way to the 10th fret from the 14. And like I said, when you slow it down, you'll really hear that in there, this little sort of gliss as he makes his way across the notes. So there you go with the outro solo, or the lead breaks from Good Times, Bad Times. And like I mentioned, this is one of those solos from Jimmy that you'll see the widest array of interpretations. I mean, you'll see people playing it with a slide, a bottle, whatever, just trying to emulate the sound. But again, a great deal of what we're hearing with our ears is coming from the intense effect that he has on the guitar. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, we'll see you guys later.